Hey you folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Star Realms. Star Realms is a real-life deck-building card game. That is to say, not a collectible card game. It's not Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. It's one of these where you buy a box, it comes with everything in it, and when you play, you deal out a certain amount of cards in the middle of a table, and then players have the ability to purchase some of those cards, add it to their deck on the fly, and then sort of build up engines and go with different strategies and that sort of thing. There are a lot of great deck-building games out there. Star Realms is nice and fast-paced, and it's a great theme with like spaceships and stuff like that. Really enjoy that. It's worth noting so the digital version of this is on Steam, runs for Windows, Mac, maybe Linux, I don't know. Also, it has a mobile version, and it is technically free to play, in air quotes. If you download the free version, you get to play against the easy difficulty AI. You also get to play the first chapter of the campaign, which has like 5 or 6 missions. 6 missions, and I forgot to sync my my game from the Mac because I have completed all the mission in Chapter 1 here. The campaign missions are quite fun because a lot of them mix up the rules for the gameplay in some way. So that's standard rules. Any of these have the weird rules? Oh. No, standard. Probably in Chapter 2 we'll have more of the weird ones. Oh, this one's a little bit odd. Yeah, because it's like surviving a certain amount of time against these blob fleets. It's quite interesting. So some of the campaign missions have different objectives. They also have a variety of different achievements that you can unlock by completing this. Again, I did do this one, but it's worth noting that this one here you can't do in one game, because here you need all the factions, and this last achievement is not without these 2 factions over here. So you'd actually have to play it more than once. And I like that kind of replayability. It gives me something to do, entertain myself, because I don't like to play, I'm antisocial. I don't like to play online. But you can play online. And it's got like sort of play by email-ish kind of support, for example, here, so you can have very long-term games. And yeah, so, I mean, it's like made in Unity, and the visuals aren't like stunning, but it is very fun to play, an excellent game, and I'm actually looking forward to buying this in real life. So I'm just going to do a game versus AI over here. It is worth noting there are more like sort of expansions. If you do play a lot and you want more cards added to the card pool, you can do that. And again, as far as I can tell, assuming you just sort of register your account here, it will be shared between all your devices, including, I believe, if I understand it correctly, PC and mobile, but I haven't tested it, so I don't know. We'll play against the hard AI over here, and we will get started. The AI actually started first, so he's taking his turn. I'll explain how things work on mine. So normally, at the end of your turn, you draw up to 5 cards. At the end of your turn, you discard everything and draw 5 cards from your deck, is the way it works. If you're player 1, on your first turn, you only start with 3 cards instead of 5, so the AI only had 3 cards there, and that's what happened. But here I've got my 5 cards. Now, our decks are constructed initially of 8 Scouts and 2 Vipers. That is our initial deck. Scouts are worth 1 trade, and Vipers are worth 1 attack. All of these initial cards are pretty weak sauce. Part of the game is purchasing new cards to add to your deck. If you purchase a card, it will go and it will get added to your discard pile. When you run out of cards in your main deck to draw, you shuffle your discard pile, flip it over, and then start drawing from there. So as you purchase cards, you're adding them to your deck, and the cards that you buy are universally going to be more powerful than your starting ships over here in a variety of different ways. So one mechanic is just buying more cards to make your deck better, but another part of the mechanic is buy cards, like most of these machine cult faction cards, let you scrap. Scrap is remove from game. Normally when you play a card, it goes in your discard pile and eventually gets shuffled back in. Scrapping a card removes it from the game completely. So when you play the supply bot, you can scrap a card from your hand or discard pile. Normally you want to do it from your discard pile if you can, but this allows you to start thinning out your deck from get rid of the crap cards from your deck, which is quite nice. So this is our hand. Here, with the cards we have here, there's no reason to not to play all the cards. You can play them one at a time. So each one is adding, say, +1 trade. There's a play all button over here to just dump them. There are going to be situations later on as we develop our deck, especially with things like supply bots, things that let us draw cards, things that let us discard cards, and things like that. There's going to start to make sense that you may want to play cards in a certain order. But right now, we could just hit that play all for convenience. So I have 1 attack. My Viper has given me 1 attack over here. And with an attack, you can attack an opponent's bases. He's got none. Or you can do damage to him directly. So we're going to take him from 50 authority down to 49 authority. So instead of life, it's sort of the authority of these factions or some damn thing like that. Bringing a player down to 0 is how you win the game. So with our 4 trade, we can go and purchase some of these cards. So you can see that the defense center is not lit up because it costs 5 to purchase, so we can't do that one. But everything else is available here. So these 5 cards over here make up the trade row. You deal them out from the top of, well, I guess the deck that is, somewhere off screen here, because this is the virtual version. But you always have 5 cards here. If I buy one of these cards, it'll be instantly replaced. So in theory, I could buy a supply bot, and then if a card gets dealt out that only costs 1, I could still buy that, for example. In addition to that, there's always, as far as I know, unlimited number of Explorer ships over here, or at least some number that you'll never run out. I don't know if in real life there'd be a limit or not, but these Explorer ships. So they cost 2 to purchase, and when you play them, they're worth 2 trade, so they are twice as good as a Scout. In addition, the Explorer has an extra ability. You can scrap the Explorer. After you've played the Explorer, and you've gotten the 2 trade, you can scrap it, remove it from the game to gain 2 attack, for that 1 turn over here. And so this is a way, if you got no other good quality cards, you can purchase these early on. It helps improve your economy a little bit, and they can actually take themselves out of the deck later on because of the scrap mechanic. Also, they help you get enough damage on a turn to blow up a station, because there's no persistent damage. So if you need to kill a station, you need to burst it down, and getting rid of the Explorers is good. That being said, this is actually a really tough initial choice. So I should note what a station is. First of all, it's kind of interesting. There are only, well, I guess counting the Explorer, there are only 2 ships available for me to buy right now. There's the Explorer, and there's the supply bot. Ships, you play from your hand, you get the effect, and then at the end of your turn, they get discarded, and eventually they get shuffled back in, and you draw them again later on. Stations, or bases, I should say, bases are different because they stick around in play. They stick around in play, and you get their ability over here. So I would get 1 attack every single turn while this is in play. Also, they have the option of scrapping this for 3 income or 3 trade if I want. This base has 5 hit points. My opponent has the option on any turn where he has 5 or more attack available, he can destroy the blob wheel. It doesn't matter how many ships. You could have 1 ship with 8 attack, and then you'd spend 5 destroying this, and then 3 to probably hit me in the face. Or you could have, 5 separate ships, like Vipers, each contributing 1 damage. It doesn't matter, how you do it. All the ships just add to a pool, and then you allocate the pool any way you want. So my opponent could destroy this by spending 5. At this point, it would be added to my discard, so I'd get it back eventually. This is not a very powerful card by itself. One of the big bonuses of it is the fact that it is joined to a faction. Some of these... Okay, the supply bot over here is an example. When you play the supply bot, you get 2 trade. You also get the option of doing a scrap, which is nice. And then you've got this bit down here. What this is an ally ability. If you have played any other card with this symbol, that's the machine cult symbol, then you get to take advantage of the allied ability, which means this would also give me 2 attack. Doesn't matter what order you play things in. You could play the other card first or after, or you sort of play them simultaneously or whatever. As long as in your played field there's at least 1 other ship or base with this symbol, you get this bonus. It doesn't matter how many of them there are. You only get it once. So there's that. So that's the allied thing. So these bases, because they're a little bit sticky, they tend to be a fairly dependable way to trigger some of those bonuses as well. But the other thing is this battle station over here, for example. This battle station is kind of weird because it has no innate power. Its only ability is to be scrapped for 5 damage. But it's an outpost base. This is a taunt creature. If you've played, Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or something like that, this creature has taunt. This base has taunt. You can't damage... If someone has an outpost out, you can't damage them, i.e. the player, nor can you damage any other base except for outpost. You have to kill outpost first. So this can tank a bit of damage for you. Here's the thing. I want the recycling station. It's actually very nice. It's not great right away. It's recycling station really, I think, hits its peak, I'd say, in the mid game. You get a choice with this. It can either be worth 1 income, which isn't much, or you can discard 2 cards from your hand and then draw that many cards. So discard up to 2 and then draw that many cards. It lets you cycle through. Now, right now, there wouldn't be anything for me to cycle for, but it really is very helpful. This is tough. I think I've got to start with the supply bot. Supply bot also, the scrapping ability really hits maybe in its prime value in the mid game where you're getting rid of crap cards, but you've actually acquired some better cards. At least it's worth 2 money, so I'm going to do that. It's going to leave me with 1 unspent trade, which sucks. It gets put in my discard pile. It'll come back eventually. I do like the Corvettes a lot. I like anything that just lets you draw a card automatically because that's how you really get your engine going. We're going to end our turn. Everything gets discarded. We draw new cards. He's going to take his turn, which is going to be 5 trade. He bought the... He bought a space station of some kind. This, I can click on his deck, and what this will show me is everything that's not in his discard pile. 5 of these cards are currently in his hand, but that's it. So he bought this defense center. He may have it in his hand or not. It's an outpost, so it's a tank. It gets to either, every turn, it'll either contribute 2 damage or heal him for 2. And if he has any other Trade Federation ships in play, then it will do 2 extra damage. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so I just drew crap cards, because, I mean, that was all that I could. So we're going to play them all, because we don't care about order. That 1 damage, I'll just hit him in the face, because that's not going to be a no-brainer. So now I get to choose what to do next. I think, okay, what have I picked up so far? Right, so I've got one of the Machine Cult. Might want to get more, so I can trigger this bonus. But if nothing else, it's worth picking up 1 or 2 of these types of things to cycle through your board. These Corvettes... Early on, I tend to like to get things that give me more economy. But the fact of the matter is, anything that, when you play it, you draw a card, effectively, it's like they're not even in your deck. Because you play it, and you instantly draw another card, and then you play that card. So this is almost, you can consider this as, I have +1 attack for free. But not only that, it still counts as its own symbol. Which means it's a great way to cycle through your deck and find more allies. And actually, these start to do a decent amount of damage if you get another one. Having 2 of these Corvettes will feel pretty good. What does it get replaced with? A Federation Shuttle. Only costs 1 to pick up, worth 2 income, not bad, and can heal you for 4 if you've got another ally. These are handy, but I'm going to go for the Twin Corvettes. Plus, I mean, it sounds cool, right? Oh god, I love the motherships so much. Cost 7, 6 damage, draw a card. If you have any other blob cards in play, draw another card. What? Anyway, that's our turn. Shuffle, draw, double Vipers. That's actually really shit. Really shit. He actually took the authority here, which I guess is fine. So he went for the heal instead of the damage, which I guess is okay. We'll play all this. Now, what's annoying is I have 2 attack here. But because he's got an outpost, I can't attack him. But 2 damage isn't enough to kill this. And damage is not persistent, so I can't do anything with my attack at all. The Vipers were completely dead draws. I'm not a fan of the battle stations. But... they do absorb some damage, and you can sacrifice them at some point if you do need to, like, quickly get rid of a station. That's a possibility. What else am I going to do with my stuff, though? The Blob Wheel, again, is okay if you need to trigger more Blob abilities, but by itself it's kind of crap. And I don't have any Blob stuff yet. But what if I grab the Blob Fighter? If we do end up getting more Blobby stuff, then the draw card ability becomes incredibly strong. It only costs 1. Give me the option of buying. I could still buy an Explorer to boost my economy a little bit. I do tend to avoid them. The 2 gold ain't bad, but they're not, because they're unaligned, they really stop your deck from developing synergy. I don't need the Machine Cult that bad. Alright, I'm going to grab the Blob Fighter. I'm actually going to hope that there's another good 2-cost card that comes up. An Imperial Fighter. Okay. So this is really interesting, because I don't like these guys as much as the Corvette, because the Corvettes with that draw card thing just keep cycling. This does do more damage, and I do have a lot of the Star Empire stuff, so that's good. Target opponent discards a card is also quite good. Now, they do get to choose which card, but it's not just about denying them one of the cards from their hand, but it actually can make it a lot harder for them to combo up a lot of stuff with the same symbol and get their allied bonus, or maybe do a lot of, like, I draw a million cards kind of thing, which can make really devastating turns. The thing is, I have a fair amount of Star Alliance going on. I guess I'll pick it up. The question is, I could literally just not spend anything. That's interesting. Or I could pick up the Explorer. How's my economy? How do I feel about my economy? It's actually really bad. You know what? I'm just going to pick up the Explorer for a little bit more points. I have 2 attack. I can't do anything with it. End turn. Oh, look at the allied bonuses coming up. He's going to 5 to spend, 7 to attack. I mean, I got a lot of hit points now, but it can start going fast. We'll play the Corvette first. Draw a card. Another Corvette. Draw a card. And they get their ally bonus. So right away, I'm at to 6 attack, which means I can destroy the defense center. Isn't that good? We're going to play the Supply Bot. And we're going to go and we're going to get rid of one of these Vipers. I tend to get rid of the Vipers before the Scouts, because 1 damage almost never has any point. At least with the Scout, you can buy more cards. So I'm going to scrap the Viper, remove it from my deck completely. Fantastic. We'll play the rest of my scouts, and all of a sudden, I've got a pretty decent turn. 6 attack is enough to destroy the defense center. Again, it only goes into discard pile, but it means he doesn't get the bonus in his next turn. We'll hit him in the face for 1. And with my 6 monies, oh god, I wish I could buy this mothership. But we're 1 short, and there's nothing we can do about it. We could still get that Imperial Fighter. And if nothing else, I could buy it, and then I'd still have 5 left for whatever comes up. We've got the Barter World, which again helps to improve our economy. It's not an outpost, so it doesn't tank for us. Although it still tends to draw a fair amount of fire. I don't think the Blob World makes any sense still. Because then we've got some blobbiness, but not really. We don't have any Trade Federation, right? Do I grab the Imperial Fighter? Because I do have some Star Empire stuff going on, so it's got some value. I should start to end up with a lot of attack. And it's the cheapest thing on the board to let me cycle to see what else comes up. It's either that or the Barter World. I think I'm going to go with the Barter World. I'm not... Especially since my economy is weak and I don't have that much card drawing, I think it's better to do this. Ah, now the trade pod is interesting. It's, you know, it's a $3 card. Like, it's worth 3 trade later on. And that's pretty good for your economy. Even if we're not blobbing it up. Early on, it's quite a good pick. And it's still pretty early in the game. It can end up being a bit of a dead card later. But we've got at least one way to cycle dead cards. So I guess that's going to be it for my turn. He's healed a fair bit. And managed to damage me a fair bit. Oh, got the double Corvette draw. Look at that, though. He's got a lot of money. He's picking up... Oh, God, I love the survey ships. They're my favorite card in the game. Look at this. I mean, first of all, I've still got a lot of Star Empire. And, like, worth 1 money, draw a card. Getting a bunch of those... Getting one of those early is good. If you can get 2 or 3, ah, you're laughing. So, we got the Blob Fighter with the draw card, too. If we can... I think we've got another Blob card, don't we? Yeah, we got the Trade Pod. Hopefully, one of these Corvettes will pick up the Trade Pod. Ah, it didn't. Alright, so we're not going to get to draw the card from the Blob Fighter, which is too bad. We've got a fair amount of attack. Nothing to kill, but I mean, I guess we're going to go face for 9. That's fine. And then we've got 4 monies. So again, that Imperial Fighter's still there. I'm really tempted to pick up a second Missile Bot. Because the ability to scrap the cards are quite good. We really need to thin our deck out. Otherwise, we're never really going to get much of an engine going on. So I'm going to go and get that. Machine Base is funny. Draw a card, then scrap a card from your hand. Really big fan. Now, you get to... I believe you choose to activate this ability. You're not forced to activate it. So, you probably only want to use this when you know you've got a card in your hand that you're going to ultimately want to get rid of. But we can't afford it. So, with my 2, do I buy the Explorer, which is decent for the economy? Do I buy the Imperial Fighter, which, I mean, discarding is still pretty good, and it's, you know, it will combo. It will do a lot of damage. It'll almost certainly do 4 damage whenever I play this, because I'll probably have another one out. Or do I just not buy anything and refuse to add more stuff to my deck? I think I will get the Imperial Fighter. The one downside to it is it does cycle the trade board for my opponent here, so he gets more options. But he's not really going blobby. Okay, he got that recycling station, which is so good. We didn't buy it first turn because I think it's kind of a weak move first turn, but man, do I wish I could have picked it up still. Alright, 40 health to 52. He's got his recycling station out, which we'll probably want to destroy so you can stop using it. I've got no things in my hand that matters for order, so we're just going to play everything. And then we're going to have to choose what we do with the Barter World. Well, I don't think I'm going to heal. I think I'm going to take the money. Actually, that's a good question, though. So the Barter World, right now, I can take the heal or I can take the money. I also have the option of trashing it for an attack. Which I could do just to get the recycling station off the board. It puts it in discard. It'll be back. Oh, man. I wish I could destroy this with just sacking the Explorer, but I can't. I don't think I'm going to take the heal. I think I'm going to take the money. The only question is if I really need it. Space Station is the right faction. Decent amount of damage. Can also tank a little bit for us. That's not too shabby. Although the RAM, we do have some blob stuff going on. God, I wish I could get the mothership. That is so good, but I can't. I wonder if I should just get the RAM with the expectation that I might get the mothership. Okay, let's buy this. Because we got some blob things going on. Okay, if I got 2 gold now, got up to 3, it wouldn't really help us. We could get the battle station, but again, I'm not super impressed by it. We could get another Explorer, but it's not that helpful. So I'm going to trigger this for the health. And do I scrap it to get rid of the recycling station? I think I have to, because I think otherwise he's going to do too much cycling here. It does suck to lose it completely, but it's not like I really need the Trade Federation combo. So we're going to go ahead and do that, clearing it out. We'll hit him in the face. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go ahead and sack the Explorer as well. Even though I don't like to do it to hit people in the face. It's much better to help clear a base. But I want to thin my deck out a little bit more here. Now, this is a bit of an annoying situation. I picked up both of my bots that scrap cards, but I don't have anything in my discard pile. So I could scrap from my hand, but that means not playing these things from my hand. So, I mean, okay, obviously the trade pod's going down. That's a no-brainer. The question is, do I actually want to scrap these 2 scouts? And I think the answer is, well, okay, I'm going to get the supply pod for money. That brings me up to 5. I could go all the way up to 7. Oh, no, I can get the mothership. Okay, so no. We're going to not use the supply bot. That way I can go scout. Scout gives me 7, which means I can buy the mothership. I'm going to play the missile bot, but not use scrap anything, because I have nothing in my hand, and I don't want to scrap the mothership. We're up to 6 attack left, which means I'm going to go ahead. I have no choice but to clear out the defense center first, and I'll poke him in the face for 1. Okay, love picking up the mothership. I don't like the health differential here at all. I think, though, we've made some pretty strong moves. Okay, luckily we picked up a Corvette. Like, we need to get more of the cycling. And what's annoying, like, now I want to trash the scouts that are in my discard pile, but my scrapping cards are in the discard pile. So these will combo off each other, giving me a crap ton of attack all of a sudden, which is nice. Not much money. And I mean, it's not like I got a base to destroy. Do that. Do I spend the 3 money picking up an Explorer? I think the answer is no. Wow, shit. I don't know, maybe I shoulda, but that drawing Explorers, you know, having Explorers in my deck lowers the chance of me discarding my cards that actually combo, do more card draws. I'm going to be forced to discard 1 card. So I will discard a Scout. So this is going to be a little bit annoying. Okay, I'll play the Corvette. I'm going to draw the last card in my deck. And then I guess we're going to play both of those, which will trigger the draw card. We'll reshuffle. I was going to say, if I pick up another one of those scrap something from my discard piles, I'm going to be pissed. Although I guess I could have scrapped the Viper after all. So I do have the option here of sacrificing the Ram for 3 trade. Bringing me up to 5, because I have nothing right now. War World is quite awesome. That's a lot of damage. Potentially 7 damage on the turn when I play it and subsequent turns. It's got the outpost. I mean, it's not very tanky. It'll die pretty easily. I mean, I could also get the Hive. That's 3 attack and draw a card if I get a blob card. It'll require sacrificing a blob card to get it. You know what? Actually, the Hive, I think, is much better. Sacrifice the Ram, pick up the Hive. Have 12 damage, so we're going to clearly blow that up, and then hit him in the face. Okay, we have so much card draw. We picked up the Mothership as well. Hopefully, with either the Corvette or the Mothership, we'll draw another blob card. I don't know if we've got any sitting in this deck. Yeah, we do. There's a trade pod still sitting in our draw pile. So as long as one of these picks up the trade thing. Ooh. Okay, let's go ahead and use the missile bot. And we're going to get rid of this Viper. Thank you. That's good. Come on. I didn't draw. I mean, I still get the draw from this, but it would have been nice to get the second draw. So that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, we'll play the rest out anyway. He's going to be forced to discard something. We've got 15 attack. We still have not enough money to buy anything other than Explorer, which I'm not going to do because it's going to make it hard for us to get our combos and mostly all the things that draw cards here. So I think our deck, the economy part of our deck still sucks. But our attack's going well. Okay, ooh, he's got a lot of tanking out. He's scrapping some things, okay. Hitting me for 2. So he's got 10 hit points worth of stuff tanking. We're going to start with the supply bot, and we're going to destroy... I guess just one of these scouts, that's fine. Yeah, get out. We don't want to ever draw you again. Unfortunately, like, this is sort of a weak one with no synergy. Fair amount of trade, though. Oh, we could buy the command ship. I mean, look at this. Just, like, heals you for 4, does 5 points worth of damage, but most importantly, draw 2 cards. Even if you're not playing this faction, it's amazing. Now, there's also the battle cruiser here, which we are playing this faction. It's got draw 1 card, discard a card, which is almost always going to trigger, but not literally always. Patrol Mech is more scrapping, and this amazing ability to choose whether it's worth 3 coin or 5 attack. Getting this early, because it's only 4, it's pretty easy to do, is a huge boost. I think we've got to go for the command ship, though. I like Port of Call as well. I mean, just 3 money, strong outpost, and you can trash it to draw a card and destroy bases. Yeah, no, we got to go command ship, though. Got no choice. We might even get lucky enough to draw it on this turn. On, like, the next turn. Anyway, that's it for our go. So we got no attack. I mean, I could sack the supply bot, but no, we still need it around. We need it to exist in our deck so we can scrap other things instead. So he's got a lot of stuff out. Oh my god, it's all outposts, which means I can attack whatever I want here, but all of a sudden this is a terrifying turn. He's going to hit me for a lot. Oh shit. And I'd have to discard 2 cards. Well, we'll discard 2 scouts. I'm going to start by playing the missile bot just for say. Get rid of the scout from this. Oh, and I don't have any actual card draw. Oh, shit. Am I just dead? Well, I got 7 attack. So the machine base, right, lets you draw and scrap cards. I've got to kill the defense center, which is probably going to hit me no matter what. It'd be nice to also kill the battle station, which can be sacked for 5. I got no... Oh, no. Come on. Did I really just get sort of checkmated here? That recycling station just does so much work. 10 attack, 15 attack. That's it. GG. Okay, we're going to try another one. Damn it. I thought it was going so well. Okay, well, let's play these. I mean, I have beaten it. Are you... Turn 1, the only thing I can do is buy a couple of explorers? I think we've already lost this one, but okay, fine. It does economy things. That's really bad. Oh, let's hit him in the face for 1. That's really bad. If we can't make an amazing purchase on turn 2. I mean, we don't even get the explorers on turn 2. So we're gonna have 4 more to spend. And again, we can't do anything except buy explorers. What? No, I think we've got to just restart this. If we draw like 4 explorers on the next turn and can buy awesome things. Okay, that'll give us 7. Yeah. And he's forced to buy explorers too. I mean, neither one of us had a ton of money. Okay, now all of a sudden it's kind of interesting. Because no matter what, I get to buy one of the big badass things that automatically draws a card regardless. So what do I have in here? 2 explorers. If I got really lucky, max I could get is another 7 spend. I mean, I'm almost tempted. Should I get one of the slightly cheaper ones, which he's more likely to be able to afford? I think I like the Mothership better. And I like the Blob cards. Okay, he's going to be able to buy that. I could sack these guys for attack and or thin out my deck, but I think we need the economy right now. Yeah, that is a really shitty draw. I'm only going to have 4 currency. And, oh my god. I'm forced to discard a card. Fine, I'll discard a Viper. Oh my god, I can't afford the Battle Mech. The only thing I could do is go 2 more Explorers or something like that. I mean, at least they clean themselves out at some point. This is mostly going to come down to what is he going to do on his turn? How much can he spend? He scrapped one of the things, which allows him to buy a battle station, which is fine. It's not that powerful. Okay, we have tons of currency this turn. We've got 7. Now, there are some good bases here. This Royal Redoubt is really good because the target opponent discards a card. That being said, I think what we do is we get another card drawing ability. Like, I think we get the Battle Cruiser. This is getting very interesting. Now, I could sack some of these Explorers, but I don't think that makes sense. What I need to do, actually, and I maybe should have bought the Battle Mech. Nah, you got to go with this. Card draw is better than thinning. But we do want some of these scrapping abilities so that we can get rid of some of these scouts and things. Yeah, he's already got the ability to start thinning out his deck. Oh, and he bought another trade bot. I won't have enough for the Battle Mech. Oh, come on. Oh, no, card draw. Thank you. 5. So now I can get the Battle Mech, and I can do some deck manipulation. So the question becomes, do I start exploding my Explorers? And I don't think I can yet. I can do 7 to his face. I don't think I can yet. But soon. Alright, we'll play all. 7 money. Now, we've got some blob synergy potential. We've got some Star Empire synergy potential, which is good. The junkyard lets you scrap... Oh, you know what? Ooh, there you go. Scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. It's not... Yeah, well, we have to take it because we need more card scrapping. I have no choice. We have to take this. Plus, it's nice and tanky. And with that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start just clearing out my explorers. Increase the chance of getting this. I realize it hurts our economy. A lot. But at the same time, I need to get the junkyard running as quickly as possible. Alright. Oh. Here. Keep it a little longer. Because we mostly want to thin out the scouts first. Okay, the machine base. Oh, we can't. I got to discard 2 cards. That's actually fine, because what I can do is dump 2 scouts. They'll be in my discard pile, which means... I mean, it doesn't actually matter, because the battle mech was going to trash one of these regardless, but... Scrap that. So I actually only get to play with 3 monies. We do have the blob mothership, so I want... More blob is going to be okay. Plus, this is actual income now, which now I'm not as worried about using this to give me enough damage to kill the Royal Redoubt, which is nice. I will pick up the Blob Fighter for more blob and the potential draw card stuff. Okay, this is going to be... This is so bizarre. It's a completely different feel from the last game, though, isn't it? Every game's got an interesting problem to solve. Oh, my lovely Corvettes. And it doesn't matter if I'm using this race or not. The free draw turn is just stupendous. Okay, let's start. I'm going to put down the junkyard first. Because I want to make sure to scrap from my discard before I accidentally do anything that ever recycles the discard. Which can happen if your deck's low. It's kind of a moot case here, but we're going to... Wait, what? Oh. Scrap. There we go. And scrap a scout. Thank you very much. Okay. Play the battlecruiser. Play the mothership. So we're not going to be able to enable the synergy, which is too bad. I could sack the battlecruiser, scrap it, remove it from the game completely. That's obviously not going to happen. I think we are going to get rid of the explorer because I need to thin out my deck at this point. If all I do every turn is start playing the battlecruiser and mothership, yeah, I'll never be able to buy anything, but I'll do such a huge amount of damage it doesn't matter. I got 4. Ooh, okay, the Imperial Frigate's actually pretty good. That's a lot of damage with the discard. I still like the Corvette. And again, we do have some blob stuff, so I think what's going to happen, I'll get the Corvette regardless. Because of the free draw. And I think I'm going to pick up the trade pod here. Because it can activate blob synergy for more draws. The Cutter's really good, though. And we'll hit this guy for 14. Okay. And what is it? This is draw card, destroy base. No, that's fine. Mitt full of explorers, and makes me think maybe we should destroy them first. That being said, this is going to be a high currency turn and a high damage turn. So it's not too shabby. I'm going to activate the junkyard first. We're going to get rid of a Viper, which is always crap. We will play all. That's fine. And yeah, I will sacrifice all my explorers here. Regardless. Even if you didn't have a base or anything, I don't need them anymore. There you go. But that does give me enough to kill his battle station again. Hit him for a little bit. This keeps forcing him to draw that battle station over and over, and it does nothing for him in his turn, really, except that he keeps tanking 5 damage. The machine base, this would give us really all the deck manipulation we need. Between that and the junkyard, it becomes kind of ridiculous. We could buy a crap ton of Trade Federation ships, which would synergize with each other, including like the draw card bonus over here. You get a trade escort plus a cutter and hope that we start getting those. But our deck's still pretty thick. Not that thick, but the machine base also tanks like a mother. There we go. Let's go ahead and get that. That's fine. Deck manipulation is good. End turn. I mean, it might be overkill with the junkyard. That being said, he's going to be killing these things pretty regularly. I mean, they're outposts. He can't hit me while they're out. Both of them are outposts, actually. He's got 16 attack. Okay. A lot of synergy, a lot of scrapping. Stop taking your turn. Oh my god. Alright, this turn is kind of going to poop a lot. No card draw. These two get to trigger each other for a little bit of a bonus, which is nice. Again, I'll sack the Explorer. I don't need its attack, but I do want to thin these out of our deck. We're going to have no choice but to attack the War World, then hit you. We have 10 money, though. 10 money is a lot of money. Alright, we might be able to buy a bunch of these Trade Federation things. I'm going to start with the Cutter, because it's the cheapest and it'll give us more options. A Mech Patrol. I think we've got enough card scrapping. I love getting these early. Again, the ability to choose money or attack is really nice. We don't really need its synergy bonus that much. I'm going to get another Cutter. Again, gives us the most options if something expensive comes up. I don't want a Battle Station. I'm going to buy the Freighter. And I don't think I'm going to buy an Explorer, because it'll just add stuff to my deck that doesn't really help us that much. I mean, yeah, they self-clean themselves, but on the... And I mean, they are on the... You know, you draw something that gives you 2 trade, 2 attack is basically it. One time. Is that better than everything else I could draw in my deck, though? No. Like, that's the thing. It's okay if you draw it, but it delays drawing one of my big battleships. So, what's the point at this point in the game? So I will just end the turn with currency, with trade unspent. That's okay. He's scrapping more of his scouts. Lots of combat cycling. He's got a lot of the machine cult stuff, so he's actually synergizing for a lot of damage. And I'm kind of low again here. And again, I got 2 things in my deck that can tank for us, and we're not getting it. Draw a card synergy actually is really nice, but I have none. Well, we'll use it to clear something out. Sure, we'll get rid of a scout here. I'm worried that I might just be dead again. May as well buy the Survey Ship, because again, it's just totally free and an easier way to trigger an awesome thing. I'm going to hit him in the face for 8, and hope that he doesn't get like a monster draw that results in him hitting me for 9. That's going to be 3 combat. Allied bonus, 13. Okay, one more time. This time for sure. This time for sure. God damn it. Where are the economy cards really on? You know what we're going to do? We're going to get that recycling station right away. I may have been wrong the other time not picking it up instantly. Oops. Start of the game, I'm always way too eager. That 1 damage doesn't even register. Oh, he picks up all currency cards. He got a recycling station as well. I did buy that, right? Yeah. Alright, play all. Ooh. Blob Destroyer is very good. That's a lot of damage, but I think we need to look at the economy. And honestly, a little bit of healing would be good. And if you do get to trigger the MC Yacht's secondary ability, drawing 2 cards, it's amazing. So I'm going to grab that. End turn. Oh. Combat. End turn. Where's the recycling? There it is. Good. And he did not get his recycling. Why did he start with 6 cards? Did he get something that drew a card? Oh, he's got a Corvette. You bastard. You got my Corvettes. Alright, we're going to get the recycling station. And I'm going to use this. I could use the money. Okay, let's calculate here. Well, almost certainly the Viper will be replaced with something else that's worth money. Going from 3 to 4 by triggering the recycling station does nothing for us. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Discard the Viper. And yes, discard a Scout as well. Because there's a chance we can pick up a higher value card. No. And in any case, it cycles through things a little bit faster. So we end up with basically exactly the same. We're going to hit him there. I'm going to spend the 3 on the Ram. Which is going to be fine. And if there's something expensive comes up... Oh, I love the Stealth Needle. Just clones another ship. It's really strong ability. Alright, he blew up my recycling station. But I got the Embassy Yacht this time, so that's alright. We're going to have a lot of money to spend. None of the cards in play give us cash. Well, maybe the Central Office, but I can't afford it. Junkyard. Junkyard plus Recycling Station gives us maybe all the hand and deck manipulation we'll need. I do love the Royal Redoubt, because that ability, if you can keep triggering it, is so good. But I think we got to go for this. I don't like the fact that we've got no economy cards. We can use the Junkyard to trash a Viper right away, and that's going to be nice. Oh my god, how many cards are you triggering on your turn? What the hell? And I'm forced to discard. Well, I mean, it's going to be the Viper regardless. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to play all. Use the Junkyard's ability to scrap the Viper, remove it from the game. We're going to use our 3 money to, what, really get an Explorer? Are you kidding me, game? Oh my god! You're so frustrating. Next turn's going to be halfway decent, assuming I don't have to discard a bunch. I hate that he's playing the Corvettes that I love so much, and he's going to force me to discard here. Okay, maybe I got to give those freighters a little bit more credit. I don't need the attack... I want the survey ship. Okay, let's consider this. I could have up to 5 currency. Well, in a sense, I could have 7 with the ram, because it would mean discarding the scout instead. That could get me the central office. I think it's fine if I just discard the scout. I'd have 4 money left, which gets me a survey ship, which isn't fantastic, but I guess could be worse. Or I discard the ram. Hold on, discard the ram, because I can't destroy the recycling. Oh no, that's 5 damage. Shit. Because I was gonna say if I discard the ram, I'll have 5 currency, 5 trade exactly, which gets me the hive, which is pretty good. That means leaving the recycling station in play. And we know that's really dangerous. Still, I feel like if I'm playing for the long shot, I've got to assume that I can build my deck better. Pick up the hive, which will be pretty nice for us. And we'll try to get some more blob stuff going on. So he's recycled 2 scouts, probably picked up 2 better, stronger cards. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Come on now. Well, okay, we'll play the recycling station. Then we will discard the Viper and a scout. Okay. That's actually not bad. We're not going to get to trigger the bonus from the hive, but it's there. Might draw some attention, buy us time. We're obviously going to be going for more blob ships if we've got the hive, because we want to trigger that as often as possible. Or, again, survey ship is just totally neutral. Can help you get to more blob stuff a little bit better. This can help us trigger the hive and get a draw, but that only helps us in that case. Survey ship is always good. You know what? I want to do this. And then we can't do anything with a 3 attack, so that'll be that. Oh, there's so much combat. Are you going to kill the hive? Okay, you are, which actually is totally okay, because I couldn't trigger this turn. Although if he'd left me in station, then the embassy yacht would have triggered for 2 draws. Alright, Junkyard, we will trigger you. We are going to get rid of this Viper. That's at least very helpful, and you can tank some more damage, which apparently we need. We're going to have 5 monies. Keep getting survey ships, maybe? There's something to be said about that. Then being said, another barter world would help us trigger our embassy yacht. Still, I'm going to go with the survey ship. Do I want to get an Explorer? I think the answer is no. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the turn now. Okay, with nothing in our discard pile, it doesn't bother us at all if he kills the Junkyard. Which he will do. Oh my god. And hit me for 1,000,000. And I got to discard a card. Which I guess is going to be the Scout, actually. We'll play everything out. Oh, I should have started with the survey ship. Doesn't actually matter. Oh! The hive triggered. Okay, that's quite good. To reduce the chance that we get obliterated, I'm going to have to go and get the opponent to discard a card, unfortunately. We are also going to thin out our desk, but getting rid of the Explorer. The Ram... You know what? We do have to sack you. Because I think we have to get the Royal Red out to get ourselves a little bit more tanking. Missile Beck is really good. And we do have a couple of bases of this type. It actually might trigger its bonus a lot. Too bad there's not more blob stuff. Could get more opponent discard stuff, which is always nice. I think the Redoubt will help us destroy a lot of things anyway. How much? We have no, other than the Junkyard, we have nothing that'll help us trigger the draw card there. No, get the Royal Redoubt. It's going to be fine. Blow up this thing, hit him, and we're not buying an Explorer. We're not going to trigger the hive. We're not going to trigger the embassy yacht. Okay, well, this time for sure. We're going to go first. And we will buy the cutter. Ooh. I mean, this does have the draw card. No. We're going to go for this because it guarantees us a little earlier economy. I'm going to forget you again. I mean, I feel like I'm having such a bad run on the recording. Like, I've been just winning, but clearly I'm doing something wrong. I don't think it's... As much as it would be nice to just blame it on bad luck, I don't think that's the case. Picking up the freighter, huge economic boost, plus the ability to put ships on top of your deck is really handy for accelerating things, and we've already bought a Trade Federation ship. Okay. That's interesting. And then hit you. It's a good thing the game reminds you. So really hoping we'd get one of our huge money ships here. Oh, my Corvettes. Trade Federation plus Star Empire. Okay. This is the cheapest and would give us the most options to draw. Like, ideally, I'm going Corvette Federation Shuttle, and then hopefully something else cheap comes up. You know what? This is going to be inevitable. I'm going to draw this for sure. The question is, do I go for the ramp? No, we'll go for this, because we've got a lot of Trade Federation stuff, and it's actually decent for the economy. It's early enough, I'm going to go ahead and take the Explorer. End turn. We are still going to need something to start cycling his deck. See, he's already going to cycle his deck. He didn't use the supply bot, because he didn't have anything in his discard pile. Okay, we are going to get both the Cutter and the Freighter are going to trigger their abilities. Now, the Cutter is just +4 damage, but, like, what a great card. Early on, it's a fine... Like, it's so much better than the Explorer early on. It's worth as much trade, heals you for 4, and later on starts doing 4 damage as well. It's incredibly good. The Freighter's just huge money, and then, because we proc this ability, we're going to get to put something on top of our deck. Only ships, not bases. So why don't we put a survey ship on top of our deck, and then see what else comes up. We could still buy the War World. That's on top of our deck. Oh, Fleet HQ would have been nice, but now we don't have enough for it. I think the War World is excellent, and synergizes with some of the stuff that we're looking at. It looks like we might end up doing a fair amount of Star Empire plus the Trade Federation. I think that's okay. And then we'll hit him in the face for 4 and end our turn. We still need some deck manipulation because we're drawing these piece of crap Vipers. What did he buy? Okay, he bought one of the blob ships. Start with the survey. Draw another card. Alright, play everything. With 5 monies, trading post is okay. It gives you another way to just mostly trigger the Trade Federation stuff. We could take the blob, the ram, just to maybe deny him some blob synergy. Wow, this is not a great turn. I guess I'll get the trading post, just because it is my synergy. Alright. Missile bot, that's excellent, so we can recycle some stuff. Do I want to blow up this ship? Not yet. And I don't want to deny you a draw. I want to keep these guys in my deck. I think we're okay. We'll just go and do that. And end turn. We'll keep the Explorer around for a little longer for the money. Okay, he didn't get the trigger's card draw, which is nice. Recycling station is available. I like that. Order's not going to matter for anything here. Gets a 7. Now, okay, the recycling station is nice. But Port of Call... I don't think we'd ever use the scrap ability. It's a fair amount of cash, and it's tanky, which is good. Junkyard also handy. We want more deck manipulation, but... I think we're going to get it for the Trade Federation synergy. Oh, hopefully the Cutter's still there next turn. That would make me very happy. And if we can get more of the yellow guys, which the recycling station counts as 1. Oh, he's triggering a lot of bonus draws. And hit me for 1,000,000. I got to discard 2 cards? Well, I guess it's going to be a couple of scouts. And then the Corvette's going to draw something. Well, alright, so at least we're going to get a little synergy bonus there. It's not going to be huge. You get 5 money. I can get my Cutter. Okay, the Cutter's really nice, but I actually have I have lots of the Trade Federation stuff, which means the Cutter's bonus is going to activate a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's really good, but I don't trigger this that often, and at this point, a recycling station would really help us The ability to discard scouts to grab things that help me draw. Alright, we're actually ahead on authority, which is a nice change. Decent draw. We have nothing in our discard pile right now, which actually is really annoying. And we don't even have a scout to blow up. We draw a missile bot when we've got literally nothing we want to get rid of. Now, okay, first of all, I'm going to play the survey ship to draw something else. Actually, this is going to work out really nicely. Because what I'm going to do is activate the recycling station. I'm going to discard the scout. Only the scout by itself. Draw something else. That way, when I play this, at least I'm not killing something that would have been in my hand. So we'll scrap that scout. There we go, improving our deck, which is going to be fine. These guys are going to synergize after each other. We've got a lot of money, and the ship's going to go on top of the deck. Unfortunately, the only ship we can buy is the trade pod, which we don't really want. I think what we're going to do is get the fleet HQ. All your ships get +1 attack. That's all it does. It's very hard to kill, though, and of course it will trigger my yellow stuff, which is nice. Could get the junk world. The mech world's quite cool. Just counts as an ally for all factions. Quite tanky, but no. The fleet HQ adds a lot of damage. Hard to kill. Trigger stuff for us. There you go. Maybe a little heavy on the base. Maybe a little heavy on the trade this time. 12 damage. She's going to blow that up. Hit me for 8. I don't think order matters for anything, right? No. This is going to trigger that, which is nice. So the question will be, for the trading post, do we take the health or the money? 1 money does nothing for us, really. Bring us from 6 to 7. Now, the only cheap stuff... Yeah, I could buy the trading post, because it's really one of my factions, and it's okay, I guess. It's not really that impressive a draw, although it does tank a fair amount of damage. It would reveal a new card, and then I'd get to choose whether I was spending the currency here or not. But I have so much blue. I don't think I need to buy the trading postage to trigger things. The mech world tanks like crazy and gives you a really easy way to trigger a bunch of stuff, which is nice. And then there's the junkyard. But do I have a junkyard? I don't think so. I have a missile bot and 1 recycling. This can tank. I mean, it's really not in a faction I care for. None of these are very strong. I think I'm going to take the junkyard. I might kick myself depending on what was next. Okay, no, I wasn't going to be able to afford that. He probably will, and he's got blob cards, and that's not going to be right. The trading post, I will take the health. I will hit him in the face for 5. And end turn. Luckily, I do have 10 points of tanking out there right now. I mean, I'd rather keep these around, obviously. Oh, he had a really weak turn. Really weak turn. Okay, I have no deck well, I can Corvette. Hold on. Okay, no, I have no deck manipulation of any kind. We're going to do that. We're absolutely going to go and blow up the Explorer regardless. Take it out of commission. We have 8 money. So the blob carrier, 7 damage always, and if you can get the bonus, you can acquire any ship without paying its cost, and you put it on top of the deck. Insanely good ability, but do we have any blob? No, we have no blob. He does, though. And I'm worried that he might snowball too well if we let him have the blob carrier. One of the great ships from the machine cult lets you blow up a card from the trade row, which recycles a trade row, but is also a really good way to deny things to people. The blob world would also be really dangerous to let this guy have. The blob world would be arguably more handy for me. Be even handier if it was an outpost. The 5 per turn, which I will draw less often because it might stick around. I think if I'm going to deny him anything, I think it's going to be the blob world. Or flagship, which helps me. It's got the draw card built in, probably heal me for 5 really regularly because I got a crap ton of this stuff. It's probably better if I do this. He might not be able to afford these things. So we're going to do that, see what it replaces. The patrol mech is very nice. Although you do need to activate this combo to be able to scrap. That's the one downside. I think what I'm going to do is I'll activate the trading post for money to buy another trading post. apply a bunch of damage to the Battle Station because I have to. Battle Station is kind of a crappy card, but it does soak a fair amount of damage. I'll give it credit for that. End turn. Woof, that is not happy to see at all. I have no deck manipulation. I have a Corvette to draw. Hopefully the Corvette draws something amazing. Oh my god, that is pathetic. That's really bad. Luckily he had a really bad turn too. We have 4 trade. I'm tempted to pick up the patrol mech just because that 5 damage might allow us to win the game on the turn we pick it up. That might be lethal. Alternatively, I could get the trading post for 1 and get the mech world, which gives me the ability to sort of do all kinds of synergy tricks with things outside my field, plus tanks damage and might let us live a little bit longer. You know what? I'll take the money, I'll buy the mech world. That's alright. And then I'll hit him for 2. Next turn. I mean, I've got double his health. I've got 1 unit that can tank a little bit as well. It's really going to come down to what kind of crazy draw synergies you're going to get. And if we can get that Dreadnought... okay, the missile bot is going to go and trash a Viper. The junkyard is what I meant to click on. I'm going to activate and trash another scout. This actually gets a synergy bonus for attack, which is good. And then these two will synergize off each other. For 5 money, so I can't get the Dreadnought, which really upsets me. But I'll get the survey ship, because again, it's just totally free. Might reveal something interesting. It didn't. Do I get the Federation shuttle? The problem at this point is that 2 money is not that handy. This can bloat my deck with somewhat less powerful cards. But I mean, that's a lot of heal. You know what? It's fine. Although, I was going to say, the one problem, after I clicked it, is it might reveal a card that's more handy for my opponent. And that is kind of exactly what happened. And that didn't add something that adds damage to my deck. And really, that's the only thing I need. I need to draw a crap ton of damage. Well, we'll end turn. We've got 34 health and a 5-point outpost out there. I mean, I definitely survived this turn. The only question is, can I kill him next turn? Looks like the answer is maybe with this. Hold on. Okay, before I accidentally draw anything, we're going to activate the junkyard to kill a scout. Then do I want to recycling station some stuff? I think the answer is yes. Well, first of all, the battle fleet, the fleet HQ definitely has got to go for like the bonus damage. And obviously I'll play the survey ship for a draw. Okay. And the flagship's definitely going to go for another draw. Then I'm going to play the recycling station. I'm going to activate it for discards. I'm going to get rid of the scout. I'm tempted about the Viper. It could be that the 1 extra damage puts me over the edge. But actually, the trading post is worth 3 damage on a scrap. So no, we'll discard those 2. And actually, I would have known exactly what was left in my deck. But nothing else that cycles more frequently. Okay, I guess that's going to be it. We'll play the rest. The freighter will trigger its ally bonus, so the next ship goes on top of the deck. Which actually, if I'd timed things differently, I could have guaranteed drawing one of these. So the most I could do is 12 if I sacrifice the trading post. Or, if I take the trading post for money, I can buy the Dreadnought over here. 7 damage, draw a card, and I can trash it for even more. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead... I was going to say, I'm going to sacrifice the survey ship to deny him a card next turn, but I'd really only do that if I was afraid that he could kill me next turn. So take a card away from his combo, but I don't think that's the case. And instead, I'd prefer having the survey ship still be in my deck. So I'll just hit him for 9. Again, I could hit him for more, but no point in doing that. Hey, there's our Dreadnought. I mean, we should have lethal here, unless he puts down a bunch of battle stations or somehow kills me through all of my bases. Okay, that's a big turn. He's going to force me to discard 2 cards, and he's blowing up a lot of my stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god! Wait, how much damage did he actually do? He killed every single one of my bases and dealt 10 points of damage? Okay, I'm going to discard you, and I'm going to discard you. 2 things that don't do damage and don't draw cards. Because I got to do 10 damage to go through there. Okay, I've got it regardless, actually. Plus, I've got a million card draws. But I'm curious to see what I'm going to end up drawing through all this. So, draw a card. Here, we could kill something from our discard pile. The Scout. We're going to draw another card with the Dreadnought. War World, getting more damage. And then play the Scout, which doesn't actually matter. We could even I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm just BMing. I'm gonna sacrifice my dreadnought for more attack damage. I'll sacrifice my survey ships to force him to discard cards at the start of his hand or his turn. I will blow up the battle stations. I will blow up the opponent. And we finally won one! Oh my god, it only took 3 games. But, Star Realms, what an amazing system. Could you imagine playing this against a human being? Also, I don't know online. I think online, I think this digital version is always 1v1. And don't get me wrong, I think 1v1 is actually the strongest way Star Realms will be played. But technically, if you play the real-life version, you can play with, I think up to 4 players. I'm not sure what the real-life version is. But there you go. There's Star Realms, a game I'm having a lot of fun fiddling around with, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.